It's so awkward when there's snoring in the background. It just makes it really hard.
I know. It's hard to focus, but we can take that out and stick. It was a fantastic thing, especially for Palm fans like us, who,
and what,
kind of missed the central.
What also made it so different from other phones, in fact, it was a phone that was more of a throwback in the United States than it was in Korea, its origin country. Phones with styluses were popular over there, both from Samsung and LG. But the difference is that Samsung actually bought into Wacom and got their pressure-sensitive technology. And so it was not a dead stylus, so to speak. It actually had... It tracked your stylus, and you were able to do a lot more. You could actually do... it had depth to it if you wanted to draw and things like that. So that's how it was different from the competing platforms of the time. Do you remember the LG View? I think it was that came out on Verizon, and it was weird because it was like it was like a 4.4:3 aspect ratio screen, and it had a stylus too, but it was just like having a stylus that you'd buy for your iPad at the time. It was just there.
Yeah, it was basically just capacitive.
Right, it was capacitive, exactly. So so that was one of the things that was really interesting. And of course, they had software built specifically for that stylus too.
Right.
So it was completely integrated.
Yeah, I mean, skipping ahead though, I think the Note 2 is really the device that kind of made the Note brand. Because I mean, you talk to most tech people these days, and they throw back to the Note 2. It's like, they'll acknowledge that the Note existed, but the Note 2 was kind of like where Samsung really started to get its stuff together. You know,
right?
Because it had the the quad core processor and a 5.5 inch screen, and it had the 1024 levels of pressure sensitivity. Right. And also the S3 was probably like the iconic Samsung phone,
absolutely,
of its time, and then the Note 2 built off of that design language. So I mean, the Note 2 was probably that's probably the Note that everybody thinks about when they think about the original Note.
So really, I think if you're talking about like landmarks in the series. Previous to the S6 design language that's carried us forward from there. But the Note 4 also was an example of that, where it also introduced the amazing camera that the S5 had. And it was when they started to introduce premium materials. So when I talk to people about the Note, the two that are Note fans, I think people still think of like the Note 2 and the Note, as you said, and the Note 4 as sort of the iconic Note models in the series,
the milestones,
right? Exactly.
The and actually, if I remember correctly, the Note 2 was anyway. So I'm sorry. Continue.
I don't know if I should now. I'm digging myself into a hole here. Maybe the Note 8 will come with prongs that you can use to wake your spouse. Shock when they fall asleep on their podcast.
You know what I'd like to see is maybe see them like literally put their camera into an almost professional-esque area, kind of like the old Nokia, was it the 1020 or whatever? I'd like to see them have something that can truly be used instead of a DSLR or something like that.